Every human being is making the best decision that they can make according to what they know, who they are and what they know at that time in their lives. The biggest resistance for people comes from families. And for families, they are also your strength.
Yes.
So they are also your biggest weakness. Every coin has two sides. But my mom would, you're now married.
Yeah.
Now his house is your house.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn how to sacrifice.
Correct.
You need to learn how to be da 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 da. Every parent, for some reason, all around the world knows this dialogue. How does everybody know this dialogue? Because as a parent today, I'm not teaching my daughter that. You know, when people say, would you like to be married again? I'm like, are you bloody mad?
Really?
Never.
Why?
Oh,
Tell me.
That is exciting. Like, when something wrong happens, that's your biggest advantage. That's your biggest play point. I think I would tell everyone in the world to just...
Sunaina.
Shivani.
I love it when people do that when they say my name back. Welcome to Millennial Mind.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful, really.
I'm so happy to have you here. I feel like you're such a bundle of joy and you have so much energy, so I'm so happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
For people who don't know who you are, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 42. I'm a mommy of a teenage daughter. I'm a lifestyle influencer. I love making people feel happy. I love inspiring people. I love like that hope or changing the way people think. Because I think I've done that with myself to kind of, in life, not to just survive, but to really, really thrive. So I like to do that. I think that's who I am. I really think I enjoy helping people. I enjoy them saying, oh my God, my life changed or my relationship changed. It's such wonder. I find that very magical. So I keep finding magic wherever I go.
And were you always like that since a child?
Yeah, I think I was always magical.
Really? Where has this self-confidence, self-belief, self-love come from? Because a lot of girls that I speak to, but in Mumbai, every woman I've spoken to is so strong, has so much self-love, so much self-belief. But in the UK, I see that as a real struggle for a lot of women. Have you always been like so confident as a kid, or?
I think we have confidence in so many different things. Some things you're going to feel very confident in.
Yeah.
Some things you will not. You know what I mean? Like confidence doesn't spread over you as a whole. I remember when I was younger, Shivani will not believe, I could not talk to boys. I would be like, I used to be an ice skater and I would be skating and my mom would actually tell my, like, make her talk to the children.
Wow.
And now I'm just, make me talk. But I couldn't. I felt very shy. I'd come from India and I was suddenly in a school in South Africa, a white school. I had to figure it out. I've just become a teenager. Like, not a teenager yet. I was about 12.
So you were born in Mumbai?
No, I was born in Germany.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, I was born in Germany. My dad was an industrialist, so he shifted at the age of 28.
Wow, okay.
So that was, his name actually came in the Guinness Book of Records for being the youngest entrepreneur in like a place like Germany at that time, like in Europe.
So you were in Germany and then?
And then we shifted to Delhi.
Okay.
And then from Delhi, we went to South Africa.
Wow.
And so all my growing up years was in this beauty. I lived that. So that's also how I'm shaped. That's also how my learnings are shaped. Teaching yoga is a part of me. I feel how I am right now, I'm different on the mat. Something else comes up.
Really?
I'm a different energy on the mat. And I think we all are, right? Like right now you might be a certain energy here.
Yeah.
Suddenly, okay, go to a nightclub. You're a different energy there. You're different. Or you go into a house which is low on energy, or you have a conversation with somebody who's really low. What do?
Drain you. They drain
Yeah,
you.
they drain you. And it's an actual fact. It's actually the energy field around you. It's like you'll say, "Hi, I'm Shivani." Yeah, hi, what's up? All good, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
After some time, you're finished.
So true.
By the time you end this conversation, you will say,
Yeah.
"Okay, bye." And you'll be like, "Bye." Because it's not that they just drain you, they also take it. Where is the energy going? The energy is going to them. They are draining you to go to them.
Wow.
So now they are energized, but you are drained.
I love that. I spoke about that to someone earlier. I said, when someone is negative to me now, before I used to be really upset, and I used to think, why are you like that? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And now my mindset is, you are just a horrible person. So you're going to be horrible to me and then get on with your day and I'm going to be upset about it. So why am I giving you that power?
Correct.
Why am I going to allow you to do what you want to do? Because if you're horrible to someone, right, and you're just a horrible person, you're never going to be upset about it. You're just going to get on with your day. It's not like you feel bad for being mean.
Yeah, that's your normal.
Exactly, that's your normal, is to be mean. So now I'm just like, you know what, block. I don't allow anyone to upset me. I leave my crystals on, I just power through. Okay, so you grew up in South Africa.
Yes.
How old were you then?
I was 12.
Okay.
And then I left. I left when I was 16 and a half, 17. My dad passed on. So we had to shift. So we spent another year in South Africa, like just closing down the business, and then we shifted back to India.
And how was that?
That was amazing. We went to my grandmom's place, we stayed there. But there was a lot of ego conflict between my mom and my grandmom.
Right.
Right?
Like there is in most families.
Yeah, and I feel that's correct because there's a power play. There's always power play in life, right? So there will be a power play. At some point, people who have gone back to their mother's homes, they'll understand that they were the queen of their home when they were either on their own or if they were married. And now they go to their mom's home and they become the second fiddle. They can't make all the decisions. So there is that power play.
And how was that for you growing up? Because obviously your father just passed away, right? You're now moving again. Was that hard for you to manage that uncertainty?
I think it was, when I was 16 and a half, 17, it was very hard. I had a boyfriend, I was dating for a long time. I had all my friends, like all my best friends, because friends for you when you're away from family.
Yeah.
I learned that your friends are family. Because we lived it was just us, my mom, dad, my brother, sister and me. It was 5 of us.
Yeah.
And now, everyone who matters is only your friends around. There are no aunties and uncles and grandparents and
Got it.
there's not all that. It's a very nuclear family I lived in and away from India.
Right.
So I've never really been into all those rituals, the Indian rituals, or not so much.
Right.
Because I've lived abroad all my life and then I was in London.
Right. So how did you manage through all of that uncertainty? Because obviously it was difficult for you, no?
Yeah, but I think I find happiness wherever I go.
Really?
Yeah.
You were like that from a kid?
I think there is. When something wrong happens, that's your biggest advantage. That's your biggest play point. Like, imagine, like, something shit happens and you feel overwhelmed. You do need to feel overwhelmed.
Right.
Then you feel fear. You do need to feel that fear. I'm not saying, oh my God, you're going to learn through it. It's a good thing that's happened. And yes, it's a good thing because you have to feel overwhelmed. You have to feel fear. You have to feel because only when you feel that will you change it. If it's a problem and you just cruise through it, there's nothing to change. You've cruised through it. The only change can be brought if a very high emotion is coming up with it, which is amazing because now you're going deeper and you can only go deeper within yourself and meet yourself if you're faced with problems. So one hand you can't say I want to know myself, and on the other hand say I don't want any problems. How will you know yourself? How will you know the courage you had? How would you know the determination you had? How would you know the persuasion you had? How did you know, I mean, you are here today, Shivani. How would you have known that? It would have been hard to move from this job to reach where you are, to do it entrepreneurially, to bring all that onus on you, on your head. Right? It's a fear game. And only because it's a fear game, you learn. Oh, I should learn marketing. Oh, I should learn how to speak. I should learn how to dress. I should learn this. I should learn that. If you weren't fearful and you thought everything was okay, why would you?
So true. You're only where you are because of the fear that you've overcome.
Only.
That is so
And the fear
powerful.
that you have not overcome.
Yeah.
You're also that way because of the fear that you have not overcome yet.
Oh my God, what a great perspective. I've never thought about it that way. I've heard people say, you know, it's where you are, you learn from your problems, but you're right. We should embrace that fear so much and the failure as well.
Yeah.
So you moved when you were 18, did you say, back to London? You moved
I moved to India.
You moved to India?
Because now my mom wanted to be with her family.
Okay.
Right? Now
Of
she needed
course.
to get us into schools there.
Okay.
So I
where
remember
did you move?
I moved in grade 11 and grade 12. I did in India.
Okay. In Delhi or?
In Delhi.
In Delhi. Okay. And then?
That was hard.
Why?
I was suddenly like in a co-ed school, like co-educational school with boys and girls. And I was in this top school in South Africa where it was all girls. And it was really the top school in Durban. We had cane hats. We couldn't wear any jewelry.
Right.
Our watches had to be a certain color, either brown, white, black.
Okay.
You couldn't eat outside school in your uniform.
So it was that prim and proper.
It was prim and proper. Like even if you
Wow.
see me right now, I'm doing this. But if you see, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just plain. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I don't need it. So many times, my friends would tell me, oh, we're going for a marriage. We'll get this jewelry out. Why don't you ever get... I said, I don't need it. I just need a sexy sari on. I don't need all the jewels that come with it.
Why do you think that? Why do you say
Because
that?
I just can.
You feel confident in yourself.
Yeah.
That's so great.
You know what happens, Shivani, with age?
Yeah.
Like you will... Okay, for example, your age.
Mm-hmm.
You are understanding that people are gravitating towards you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would understand that people gravitate towards me, right? But when we are young, we don't focus on, okay, they are gravitating towards me because I am like this. Because I am like this. Because I'm like this.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you build that uniqueness about yourself. You realize those talents. And I wouldn't say empower, I will say power. In this case, you feel so powerful to just go and do. But it had to be with a lot of situations to reach here.
Yeah.
There are a lot of situations where you were not like this, but now you're like this because it has happened.
But how do you become like that?
So how can I call anything disadvantageous? Because I love where I am today. That's it.
But people who are listening and watching this are thinking, okay, I know you're saying you've always been confident. You've always been someone who's loved yourself.
I've never always been confident.
You haven't?
No.
Okay.
I feel that there were different layers of confidence. I was shy in the beginning. But I was always in school known as the sunflower. She will light up the room. I was always, since I was a kid, my report card would always have those lines.
Wow.
We love her laughter. Because I would laugh like, ha 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 ha. My dad would always say, I hope she always gets married in a place where her laughter doesn't
Dim down.
down. She just laughs with a full heart. But when he said that, I realized that that's a gift. So many times people tell you that, and so many times you find out that, and so many times with work you find out, right? Work is one of your biggest teachers, marriage is one of your biggest teachers, children is one of your biggest teachers, teenage lives, every moment is your teacher, and we don't know what is coming next. We don't know what's going to come. right this moment. We do not know. Can you believe how much unpredictability there is in the world? So much we don't know what's going to happen next minute. You don't know what phone call you're going to get. You don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. So that is why people are scared of change. Because life itself is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. I was like, everybody's like, ooh, I love change. Nobody loves change. Because such a big energy in the world is change. That within you, you need to feel stability. There's too much change. You don't know what's going to happen the next minute because you're only in charge of yourself. That's one variable. There are millions of variables working permutations and combinations with each other which are going to hit you. How do you know how somebody's going to react, respond, act, how it's going to hit you? How do you know that?
How do you manage the change then within yourself? Because that's the one thing you're saying doesn't change.
I think it is with the learning. I think like there was a time I was really in love with a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling so in love that I think that he really loves me. I really love him and he's doing all this. But at the end, if he's living in another country, I'm living in another country. Okay? He wants to talk only once a week over the weekend. And I want to talk every day.
Yes.
Because you're so far away, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I would like to touch base with you. We are dating.
Course.
Correct? Now what starts to happen there? He's like, but I can't do that. Or if I want to do video, I can't do that. I'm getting somewhere with this, okay?
I'm with you.
Yeah. Now what has actually happened here is now I'm denying myself, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
Once or twice a week. I keep killing my heart. I keep killing what I want. Right? Then I'll talk to my mom and I'll complain about it. And then my mom will say, what is there to talk every day?
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, do your thing, let him do his thing. But what's happening is everyone around you, even yourself, are teaching yourself to kill your heart. It's like, I want this mango, but there's only one mango. Okay, but there are 3 siblings. Okay, we should share the mango, but you're always wanting to kill your heart because you've always learnt to kill your heart.
Where do you think we've learned that from?
From our parents, from growing up, correct?
As women or as men too?
Everyone. I feel humans today, I really believe that men are also going through, I won't say are also, everyone has a human experience. It's a human experience. Men are also going through that life experience. We cannot understand what a man is going through because we are not a man.
Yeah.
A man can't understand what a woman is going through because he is not a woman. So that is why all this is. And I think one of the best books to read, to really work on yourself as a woman, as a man, would be Men Are From Mars,
Women Are From Venus.
You read
Really?
it?
I read it, but I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
You liked it?
Now, when did you read it?
Maybe 3 years ago.
I didn't think anything of it when I read it when I was young.
Really?
At 40,
Okay.
I read it. And I feel that at 29, you're 28,
Yeah.
you will understand it. Read it again.
Really?
It is unreal.
I think
It is the most psychologically exciting book ever. Like you can really understand it and you can really kind of change your way of understanding where you don't feel hurt.
I do get that.
Women start to feel hurt. Men start to feel hurt because we're not understanding the gender.
Yes.
Not understanding that.
I think that the reason why I didn't connect with it is I think it was very stereotypical. You know, it's very much women want to talk for hours, men want to hide in a cave. Women are really expressive, men are not. And I think the problem in life is we put people into boxes and we continue to tell them they should stay in these boxes. So a man reading that book would read it as, and someone has told me this, when they read the book, they read it as, yeah, I don't want to talk about my problems because I'm not meant to talk about my problems. And instead of me understanding that I can talk about my problems, this book is reminding you that I shouldn't talk about my problems and you should understand that. Do you see?
Correct. If
So-
you're in that space of mind,
Exactly.
if you're looking at it.
Yes.
But, like, that's what I said. In this book, like, I really took out the juice. I really took out the juice because I saw that pattern
Okay.
in a lot of the men, because I've dated quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've also been married. I've also been divorced.
Yeah.
I've also been single. I've gone through all that. You know, when people say, would you like to be married again? I'm like, are you bloody mad?
Really?
Never.
Why?
Oh,
Tell me.
That is exciting. Like,
Wait, first of all, let's start off. When did you marry?
I got married when I was just turning 24. So,
Okay.
24. I
And was it a
very
love
young.
marriage?
Yes, I would say so.
So it wasn't arranged?
I mean, the arrangement had come from his brother. Like, the family wanted to ask for the brother, but I never met the brother. I met the younger one.
Got it.
And then we
along.
started seeing each other.
Okay, and you got married at 24. Were you happy? At the time?
Yeah, I was very happy.
Okay.
It was nice. We shifted to London. It was nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. But then the whole, I think we were just two very, very different people. And it started, I think, from the time I got married. It was, we weren't actually physical with each other in terms of sexually.
Wow.
We were physical with cuddling.
Yes.
And every time I'd be like, you know, and he would want me to wear something. It was like if we've gone to Paris or we've gone to Moulin Rouge and we're buying those sexy things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? He will want that.
Right.
And then he'd say, come here, let's cuddle.
Right.
Right? So it was like, oh my God. Right? So in that sense so I was getting very disturbed. For me, I think yoga and all that came through that.
Wow.
Because I really needed to first release the sexuality and then release the emotions and then release all of that and keep releasing. You know, and it was that release. I think yoga, I feel like, really helps release sexually, I feel.
How long were you dating before you got married?
About a year.
About a year.
But
okay.
not really dating. I was playing around.
Okay.
And I wasn't really, I told him, I was like, I don't want a boyfriend.
Right.
Like,
So why
let's
did you
chill, let's
choose
have
to
some
get married?
fun. He's like, but I want to have fun. I want to be married, yeah. So, yeah, so I mean, if we came back to the book, the book would say, men would say, let's have fun. The woman would say,
Exactly.
let's get married.
See?
Here I'm saying, let's chill.
Right. But there's
Right.
my point, right? You can flip the roles.
Yeah, of course you
Yeah.
can. But in general, like, it's not about stereotypical. It's about how life actually is. As a teenager, you were a certain way.
Yeah.
So is my daughter that certain way. So was I that certain way. Now we are all very different. We've all had our own experiences. But as teenagers, we are teenagers. As a baby, every baby is learning to walk. Every baby is learning to talk. Every child. Now, am I putting them in stereotypes?
No, you're so
But
right.
every baby is doing it now. You can't say that's stereotypical. Every teenager is not like that.
So
yes,
true.
there will be some boys who might not want to drive rashly at the age of 17.
Yes.
But most boys at the age of 17, because at that time the hormones change,
Correct.
right? The rash, the adrenaline, the wiring in your brain has changed. Most guys want to drive fast. That adrenaline is coming in. At 14, 13, your sexual hormones are coming out. Everybody wants to look at girls. Every boy wants to look at girls. Girls want to look at boys. At 13, 14, this is coming up. You're exploring your body. You want to touch yourself. There's a lot happening, right, during that time. Is that stereotypical? No, everyone, there will be some people who won't do that at that
Correct.
age. But mostly they are.
So you're right. They are not stereotypes. It's just the way of life. That's another really interesting perspective because I'm always like, stop boxing people. But you're right. It's actually so true. We all experience so many same things, right? That's not stereotypical. Okay, so you're now married. You realize there's not that chemistry in your marriage. Then what did you do? Because there's a lot of stigma now about people leaving their relationships. You know, everyone says, oh, millennials just quit, millennials just give up. And I think it's so frustrating because I think the previous generation didn't allow themselves to value who they were. They just went on what their parents said or what society said. And now that we're kind of becoming stronger as people, both men and women, people are criticizing us for not sticking with it.
Yes. So first with this, just this philosophy is so true what you said. But it happens everywhere. You do this, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You do that, there's a problem. You teach people self-love. As soon as they really start to value themselves, and they might not value being beaten up black and blue in this relationship, and they leave, suddenly there's a problem. You're not trying hard enough.
Yes.
So you're teaching self-care, you're teaching self-love, then you are. So that's happening in the world. You stay with somebody and people say you don't value yourself. You're such a doormat.
True.
You leave and they say you're such a quitter. Right? So anyway you go. So who gives a shit? Go where you want.
I love that.
Go where you want. Because both ways, you're going to get love and you're going to get hate.
You mentioned you have a daughter. Did you have a daughter from that marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
Only one marriage.
Only.
and never again anymore.
So you had a daughter despite not having that much chemistry. When did you decide to leave?
So it took me a very, very long time. I think it's so easy in a way to just open the door, step out. That's all it is. Right? But that's not all it is.
No.
There's too much baggage on our backs. We can't even walk to that door. We can't even reach to open the door, let alone get out. We have too much, whether it is, you're married and your parents will also tell you, and I don't have a dad anymore, but my mom would, you're now married.
Yeah.
Now his house is your house. You need to learn how to sacrifice.
Correct.
You need to learn how to be da 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 da. Right? And think about it. Every parent, for some reason, all around the world knows this dialogue. How does everybody know this dialogue? Because as a parent today, I'm not teaching my daughter that. Right? I don't teach her this same talk.
Yeah.
But there was that talk. Okay, I'm going to leave him. There was a time, Shivani, my mom, she's like, where will you go? Fine, you want to leave him? You're not doing anything. You're not whatever. You're going to leave him? You're going to leave him and come back, running back to him only. You won't be able to do anything on your own. And then she said, life is not a fairy tale.
Oh, I hate it when people say that.
Correct. So, okay. I left him. And I'm so happy that she said this because it guided me.
Right.
It guided me like my angel. It was like my mother's words. They don't always have to be positive to be angelic, right?
I love that.
The most negative words can be the most angelic words. The most negative situations can be the most angelic situations because they are never negative. It's just that it's a challenge for us at that moment. And we are learning how to gear up as a human for that challenge. That's all it is. It's not a negative situation. It's just that it's challenging.
Yeah.
It's a challenging situation. Yeah, so she told me, she goes, you won't be able to live without him. You will come back to him.
Right.
So that was a very, very powerful message to me that, okay, there was a little bit like, I'm going to show her attitude as well. Because you're young.
Yeah, of course.
You're young. There's a certain that as well. Like, you're challenging yourself. You're challenging your limits. You're challenging who you think you are, who people think you are. There's so many things that are happening at that age as well. So I think living in the marriage was, for me, I think I'm a free bird. And I felt a little caged. You know what I mean? There was this cage. and I wasn't strong enough to leave. I didn't know how to do anything. He was really good at figuring out all the finances or the bills or the electricity bills. I never even saw a site which had, I'd never booked airplane tickets, I'd never booked hotels, he'll be like, okay, I booked Maldives, I booked this, I booked that. Like, I mean, it was very easy. I would do my thing. I would do the house, I would do this, I was studying, you know what I mean? So I was doing my stuff. But there was no sexuality between us. There was nothing between us, and it was killing me, and I was living, because we are taught that marriage is sacrosanct.
Yes.
We are taught that you have to keep trying. We are taught that all this is happening. And I kept living it, and I felt like it was too much. I would talk to everyone about it. I had made myself a victim. I would talk to everyone about it, that because I needed somebody to understand my pain. Being a victim is great, right? Because it's fun in a way that it gives you solace that the other person understands you.
True.
So you say, oh, I went through this, and say your mother or your friend hugs you and says, just come and hug me and just cry. You sometimes need that rather than never wanting to be, right? So especially when you're in the deepest of your sorrows, and then you learn, don't be a victim. You only can't be a victim after you've been a victim.
So true.
How can you not be a victim if you've never been a victim? You can only be a non-victim after you have felt and you have victimized yourself. I had victimized myself. I see it all. I see how I wanted everybody to understand what I was going through, understand what I was trying to say, understand my caging, but it was not for them to understand it.
Yeah.
It was only for me to understand it, but through them I was understanding it as well. Through the victimization, I learned what I was doing wrong. And then slowly, I don't know, but I made it. And I'm still making it, because every single question that comes into your life, you can find that answer. You can learn something. You can find that answer.
Right.
And you feel great. But then the bloody question changes again. Right?
So true.
And then you're finding that answer again. And they are unbelievably like billions and billions, I mean limitless problems and limitless solutions in the world. What problem you are having, no one else in the world is having. And however many you are having, no one in the world is having yours. However many, and those solutions, however many can come with each problem, it's just a limitless universe. Like, let's just relax. I tell myself that every day, relax, Sunaina, relax.
You say you just got out of it, but there are a lot of people who are probably listening and watching this who are feeling stuck.
Yes.
And are feeling, okay, from your situation, your husband was, I presume, the provider.
Yes.
Who kind of did everything. Like, like you said, you never learned how to use like a plane ticket or whatever, all of that stuff. How did you figure it out? Why did you feel at one moment you're like, I have to leave now? What was that switching point? What gave you that strength?
I think in the beginning, there was a different kind of strength. I told myself, I'm honestly, this was what actually, I remember talking to my sister on the phone and saying, I need to leave him. But you know what? I need to really love someone else,
Ah, okay.
I want to find somebody, because it is so difficult that it'll be much easier for me to leave this if there was someone else. So this was where I was in my life, right? Like that is how, and that was an age again. There was a fear. Why do you say that? Because there's a fear. Right? You only say that because so just with that comment, you can understand that there was these fears behind. And then I remember a year later, I was like, I am not going to leave him for anyone or anything or whatever. Anyway, I can't handle it. I don't want the money. He's a very, very rich man. But so is my family. Well, but it was like, I said, I don't want the money. I don't want any of it. I want the most priceless thing. I want to go. I want to fly. And I'll figure it. And it's not that it's been easier after leaving him. I think it's the first time I'm saying it out, like understanding it in my own head as well with this. I think it's been harder leaving him because it's been 8-9 years. But it has been the most exhilarating, exciting journey of my life. I have never regretted my decision.
Really?
Never, ever, not for a millisecond. Like, it was the correct decision.
And your daughter, I mean, at that point, when you chose to leave, it's not only just leaving everything you know and a husband, and I know you didn't feel that connection, but it's still hard, right, to leave someone you've been with for years. But to then know that you're going to take this role as a single mother, the sole provider of you and her, how did you cope?
So in terms of financially, he is there.
Good.
Right, so that's really good. We work with each other, you know.
And you're okay in that? Because I think there's a lot of women
because
who'd be
he's
like,
married
no.
now.
Yes.
And he has his whole family. They have another son now.
Right.
Right, so that family has it all happening, sorted, family, space. And the other part is me. And I'm doing my thing, and I'm traveling, and I'm figuring it out, and I feel like a lot of the times, I've again never said this, but I feel that I just need to be married to the public.
What do you mean?
Like everyone. Like I feel like in marriage in terms of, I like to be able to give my energy to the world, you know, like I'm so married to that feeling of inspiring, to that feeling of changing somebody's mind. They change their own reality. Nobody changes anyone's reality except themselves. But to help them.
In what way? What would be your message to the whole world?
Oh my God. What would be my message to the whole world?
If you could change and help people in one way, what do you want them to be?
I think I would tell everyone in the world to just keep learning. I think keep learning through life. Keep learning. It's not learning through a book or a textbook. I think the only thing that can keep you in sync with yourself, like if you're learning, learning could be you're learning emotional resilience. You're learning how to get over something. You're learning marketing. I think learning is, for me, I'm a learner. For me, learning is the most vital component in my life. I think for everyone, they have their own vital component. So whatever yours is, everyone in the world, I can't say everyone should learn. Somebody doesn't want to. Somebody's because chill marna yaar.
Yeah.
I want to relax. Beautiful. I mean, and that person could be like, you know what, I would want to tell you, you relax.
True.
Right? So everybody has
their own power.
I think, correct. And they have their power, and when you learn, you find your power.
So you're choosing to leave, but you're a single mother. And now a lot of people listening and watching this are in the same position. I'm unhappy, but I have a child. How am I going to figure it out? How am I going to explain it to the child? Will they be happy? All these worries go in people's heads. But did that happen to you?
Of course. I mean, I don't really care too much about society.
Yeah.
Really, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I remember once my mother also told me, she's like, Sunaina, I haven't told this auntie that you're separated right now.
Okay. Yes.
I'm like, I don't care. You want to tell her, tell her. You don't want to tell her, don't tell her. But please, don't expect me if she asks me not to tell her. That's your shit. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. I don't want to put anything on you. But I will do what I'm comfortable with.
Yes.
And so nobody was. I think my family was very open about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important for people, because the biggest resistance for people comes from families. And for families, they are also your strength.
Yes.
So they are also your biggest weakness. Every coin has two sides. you will love your family the most. Who will you hate the most also?
Yeah.
Them only. Who will you be irritated with the most? Them only. Because you love them the most.
Yeah.
Why will you spend so much power and energy, like you said earlier, block them? Why? Because you don't need to spend that power
Yeah.
and energy
Yeah.
on those people. But you cannot block your mother.
No.
So
never.
she will also not be able to block you. So as families, that bloodline
Yeah.
is too strong.
Do you believe blood is thicker than water?
Oh my God, truly, only.
But then how do you set boundaries with your family? Because look, your mum was really understanding, right? Well, not really understanding,
No,
but
there was a lot of ups and downs. There was a lot of that. But I'm also very strong in my decision then. But then you also keep asking people, because I'm a Libra.
right.
So I need to balance it. Okay, this is good, this is bad. This is good, this is bad. Like I kept weighing it. So like your earlier question, like how would you tell women or men also?
Yes.
For that matter,
Yes.
right? Sometimes men are feeling very weak to leave.
True.
It's not just us.
No.
It's also them.
You're right.
They are also feeling weak that I want to leave this, but I can't. So many people are dependent on me.
Yes.
Can you imagine a woman is feeling I want to leave because I'm dependent? And a man is saying I want to leave but so many people are dependent on me. How much guilt would the man also be feeling?
So true.
In this kind of a situation, people have too much guilt, people have too much responsibility. Every person's mind is working on a different track. Everyone is working on a different track. Like, and I think each person needs to come for like counseling alone when it comes to this. For example, I'll tell you, a woman gets slapped by her husband. Okay, and now she comes to her friends and all and she's crying about it. The friends are like, you have to leave this asshole.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't leave him. She comes again crying. Again, the friends are saying the same thing. But she doesn't leave him. And the friends think that she's crazy and she's
Yeah.
stupid and she's dumb. Correct.
Yeah.
She is not stupid. She is not dumb. And she's not crazy. Every human being is making the best decision that they can make according to what they know. Who they are and what they know at that time in their lives. We are human beings who are made for survival. Correct? So every person knows this is what I need to survive. So for that woman, if she has seen, say she's seen a family that had broken up or her own parents have been divorced. And that has been a very, very traumatic experience for this child.
Yeah.
So what has happened is she doesn't want to break up a marriage. For her top priority is, I want to keep this family together.
True.
Right? So even if she gets slapped is her third priority. Her first two priorities are that if she leaves him with that third priority, her first two priorities will not get done. She is not stupid. And the other women who are advising her are no way smarter.
Yeah.
Nobody is smarter than yourself. Every person is the smartest in whatever capability, because they are surviving with what they know. Now, if somebody comes to me and I'll be able to help them understand or maybe change that tuning of their thinking, then they might want something else and survive in a different way.
Right.
It just has to be a change in the thinking, and it's the easiest thing.
How did you become so, like, you just don't care about other people? Because you're very certain and sure about yourself. It doesn't seem like any of the outside noise blocks you. Is this why you do these retreats?
No, I think, Shivani, I think it does again in certain ways. I would not give myself all that credit. I don't care what people think, but at the same time, if somebody's coming to my house and I'm cooking a good meal,
Yeah.
I want people to enjoy. So I do care what people think. I want people to enjoy that meal, right?
I enjoyed your coffee.
Yeah, yeah, correct. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm not dying for a positive or a negative answer. It doesn't matter. I learned that, I think, in yoga class, very young. This lesson came to me very young. There was a teacher who was teaching yoga and she had to leave, and she asked me, she goes, can you fill up my class? And I had not started teaching yet, so I was very excited.
Right.
I was very, very excited to teach this class. It was my first class. And I did a class and I taught. There was this time where I was like, did they like the class? Did they not like the class? You know? This was about 15 years back. And then I was like, there was a time after a couple of days, I was like, you know what, actually, because I knew that people like the class, I am. But at that point, it was very important for me to know that, right? Because it's my first class. But I realized that it doesn't matter. People will like your class, some won't like your class. Some people will like who you are, some people won't. Some people will love your energy, some people will find you loud. Some people would love this, some people will not find you too grounded. Some people will love you humble, but people will not like that. Who are those people? They're a figment of our imagination. Like my mother will tell me, oh, Sunaina, don't do this or don't do that. Or there are people watching. Who are these people? I will never see them again. Who are these people who are watching me, whether I'm on a plane or in a... Maybe after they watch me, they can be more free and chill, okay. But who are they? I'll never see them again, even if I see them again. Great, like, I don't know. It doesn't really, I really feel like people should just do their thing.
Be authentic.
And really live their best. We don't have to live other people's best lives. And I think we are all so not certain about our goals. We are so not certain what we want. That we keep going and we keep killing ourselves. Imagine if our goal was, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I want this. That's it. Say. And you reach that and you'll start living your life. But we are just scattered. Everyone's just scattered. Nobody knows.
You have so much energy and so much positive energy. You really do light up the room. You're still that sunflower from a kid. Why did you start these retreats? And tell me about them. What are you doing with them?
They are really, for me, Shivani, when I call people, one is all this socializing that we do, because they're really transformational.
Okay.
I love to travel, I love to let go, and I started feeling that I'm really working on myself with so many things that I just want to share. Basically, I want to share. Like, I would never want to hold information back that I know. If I know it and it can help you, I will share it.
Yeah.
I'm a sharer, so because I'm a sharer, the retreat works with me. The teaching helps me. I'm able to bring myself out where people are able to bring themselves out with me. Because if they are seeing that, okay, she's able to trust us, automatically trust is built. It's just an energy exchange.
True.
Automatically you and me are suddenly in a different place of feeling for each other after this than we were before. You might be able to tell me something about you that you couldn't tell me an hour back.
True.
Yeah, so for me, the retreats are a transformational space where you're able to let go, remove everything from your junk drawers, from your body, release from the hips to from your breath. I feel all our emotions are in our breath.
Yeah.
Every time, like abdominal breathing for emotions is the most essential. Like really breathe in, really work your abdomen and breathe out. If people just do that, people just keep running for more and more information. Whereas the simplest stuff they're not doing. Did you do your neck rolls today? No. Did you do deep breathing for 2 minutes? No. Did you do gratitude? No. No, but I'm going to learn more. I'm just going to keep going on learning because I already know so much, but people who don't know, they are so stupid. But I know, but I'm still not doing.
Yeah.
That's really not intelligent. That is stupider.
Yeah.
You know it and not doing it is stupider than people not knowing it.
So true. We're always running for the next piece of information rather than absorbing, understanding and really taking in what we know. I really feel there's so much more we could talk about, but we're out of time. What's one of your favorite things with the retreats?
So beautiful. I love this. I think we do a lot of healing yoga here.
Okay.
A lot of healing yoga with your emotions, with stress, anxiety, tension. My colleague is coming from San Diego. She does evolutionary breath work.
Wow.
She's just unbelievable. It's that screaming in the pillow breath work. It's like really brings that out. We're doing a lot of lifestyle tips, tricks, movements on the go, stretchings on the go. We're doing adventure activities like kayaking with the dolphins, so that even when you're going deeper inside yourself and you're feeling vulnerable, the next day provides you that's hope, that's freedom. So we'll do that. We'll go to the waterfalls, we'll go trekking as well. I want to kind of give a very holistic wellness experience. The food is just so delicious. We are living in the middle of nature in eco cabanas.
Wow.
So that's what the retreat is like, having everyone sit together to eat food. Just
energy,
give coaching, just
amazing.
Being, and you're in the south of Goa.
Oh, I love Goa.
Right, me too.
My favorite. Goa and Bali are my favorite places.
We're going to chill in Goa now.
I want to come.
We'll
One
do
day.
it. 23rd to 28th March.
I'll be in London then.
So next time, I'm going to keep doing retreats.
September. Tell me to come in September, October. I want to come back
Do it
here.
for my birthday. September 29th is my... What's your
Would
sun
love
sign?
to. I'm Cancer.
Oh my God, like my mother. Oh my God. You take the best out of me.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you
really
so much,
appreciate it.
Shivani. I want to give you a hug.
Oh.
It was real.
Everyone, and thank you so much for listening and watching this podcast. Wherever you're listening or watching, if you could please press the follow, like, and subscribe button, it would really mean the world to me.